Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim at the Canton Clay Works. We're going to continue into our beginner demos and throwing on the potter's wheel. The last couple of videos I reviewed the hand positions, which is always a great resource to go back to that video and really see the hand positions I recommend using in my techniques. The last video was the lacy rimmed bowl, and what I'd like to do now is a faceted bowl. So we're going to facet, which means we're going to slice facets off the exterior wall of the bowl. So I'm not going to repeat all the hand positions, I'm just going to go right to it, and if you are confused about the hand positions, go back to video 4 and you'll be able to review those on that video. Coning down. Clean up the clay on the wheel head. When you have clay attached to the wheel head bouncing around, it's kind of difficult to feel whether you're on center with clay bouncing around. Okay, now we're going to open. So notice how expeditiously and quickly I'm doing this. When you get more confidence in your throwing techniques, I highly recommend that you throw as quickly as you can so that you can get right to your form and your product. Also, you're vibrating the clay less, which is called fixotropity, where the molecular structure expands through vibration, and you're adding less moisture to the clay. So here we are. This is our little base formation, foundation piece. We're going to pull this up. Now, something that's going to be quite different in this piece than the others you have seen is that we are going to slice and facet part of the wall off. And in order to do that successfully, I need to leave a relatively thick wall. So this wall is anywhere between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch thick. And I'm doing that very deliberately. Now, when I make faceted pieces, I generally like to have a symmetrical rim and an altered faceted side wall. So watch what I'm going to do to get that. I'm going to take the rib tool, and I'm just going to push in the top 1/4 to 1/2 inch, creating a ledge here. I compress my rim, round my rim with the sponge. Now I have a ledge here in which my faceting tool, which you're going to love, this is a very, very expensive plastic cheese cutter from Ocean State Job Lot or the local dollar store, and it's just a terrific tool. I take the cheese cutter, I insert the wire in the bottom, shoulder, pull it up, and remove it right out of that ledge that you saw me just make. I go 180 degrees. I'll try to do it here to the side so you can see. And it removes an entire facet. Now I'm going to go 90 degrees around. Go 180 degrees from that 90 degrees. We use a lot of high school geometry in pottery. And now you notice there are sections that haven't been faceted, and I'm going to go and facet each one of those. As I said before, it's very key to leave the wall relatively thick, because look at the thickness of the clay that I am removing. So when we go to shape this or rib it, the side walls are going to be thinned, weakened, and altered. So now we compress our rim, and that's our faceted exterior wall. Now I'm going to rib it. The way I'm going to rib this is with a sponge wrapped around my right middle finger and index finger. And here at 6 o'clock, I'm just going to start to push the base out and bring this up gradually, pushing the rim out further as well, opening it up, and look at the dynamics of this faceted wall with these ridges coming down. Wonderful pieces for glazing. I wood fire in our Japanese Noborigama kiln quite a bit of these pieces. It's a really wonderful technique to do, and there's many variations of that as well. So this is the faceted tea bowl, in fact. I'll compress my rim. I'll show you one more thing because we're going to remove it from the wheel head, and I didn't show that in some of the last videos. So let's just take a moment to remove it. I'm going to take my wire tool, wire across the bottom, pushing the wire flat down onto the wheel head. Then I put water on the wheel head, and I wire maybe 2 or 3 times quickly, not slowly, water underneath the bowl. Then I'm taking a bisque tile, soaking it with water, putting my fingers down on the lower shoulder of the tea bowl and sliding it right off onto the bisque tile. The bisque tile absorbs moisture from underneath, which helps with the shrinkage and the drying of the bottom. This is Faceted Tea Bowl. Thanks again for joining us.